So yeah, some of these voices are a bit rough on the throat. As a result, I've only got one more episode in me, even with the sake of, you know, having to meet with friends in less than an hour now.
I have never told this to anyone. Well done. As you say, I developed a taste disorder 18 years ago.
Taste disorder?
It was a severe disorder. I was unable to discern any flavor at all. It is the only illness a pastry chef dreads above all else. Except maybe dick cancer. That shit's rough.
Those symptoms sound a bit different from Mr. Master's taste disorder. Mr. Master's condition is known as hypoglycemia. It simply causes a decreased sensitivity to certain specific flavors.
I'm sure it has caused Sir Master much pain, too. After all, no medication was available to cure it 18 years ago.
In order to cure taste disorder, you would need Mr. Master's angel recipe. And that's why you entered the contest, am I correct?
That was one of my goals, but I still had my sights set on the title of World's Greatest. When it comes to making desserts, I won't lose to anyone. Even without the ability to taste, I still have the utmost confidence in my flavors.
Oh, so I presume you also prepared your dessert in the finals with the intent to win.
That goes without saying.
According to what Mr. Shields told us earlier, the evaluation of Mr. Gustavia's entry was...
Up until the semi-finals, Mr. Gustavia's flavors and designs were to my liking. Unfortunately, both the taste and appearance of his finals entry left much to be desired.
It seems the research made for the final was not rated highly in regard to flavor. Mr. Gustavia, you will tell us about how you made your dessert during the finals.
Very well. It seems I must teach you upstarts a lesson.
We're not really upstarts. Except for the finals.
So Dover and I cooperated until the finals. I handled the flavor, he was in charge of the design. However, for the finals, I wanted to challenge Sir Master with my own skill. I helped Sir Dover make his entry, but I made mine completely on my own. If the flavor of my entry wasn't good enough, to my own lack of training was to blame.
Read that weirdly.
How about that, Sir Prosecutor? This is the truth of 18 years ago.
I can't find any contradictions in his testimony. Well, of course he isn't going to fess up that easily. This guy's been on the run for 18 years, after all. Even went to Zheng Fa ruining that whole statute of limitations things, cough, cough. Guess we'll just have to keep pressing him until he breaks. Yes. Without a walkthrough, preferably. Anyways.
So Dover and I cooperate.
Okay, I read that already. And that voice is probably the roughest on my throat. I don't know why. I can do Von Karma's well enough, but that voice... Maybe it's because I've just been going for so long today. I've gone way longer than I normally do for this, just because I needed to record it. So Nova took care of his design while you handled the flavor.
So Dover was a sculptor by trade. His sense of design was splendid. But he was just an amateur chef. We combined our strengths by working together.
You never did have much design sense, did you, Mr. Gustavia?
Damn! What do you think of this?
That's the symbol of Zheng Fa. Wow! A phoenix! That's really good! Whoa! You really have improved these past 18 years.
Behold the fruits of my 18 years of training. I put my life and limb on the line for my dessert skills.
Is that how you got the scars?
It's true that I cooperated with Sir Dover 18 years ago, up until the finals.
However, for the finals, I wanted to challenge Sir Master with my own skills. Haven't we established that this isn't the case? So you're really serious about the title of World's Greatest Pastry Chef?
Yes, confectionery is my life. Naturally, I wanted to be the world's greatest. But back then, I was still inexperienced, and I was no match for the better chef.
But your goal was also to obtain the Angel's recipe, right? Wouldn't the recipe book be worth more to you than the title? Financially speaking, yes, but personally speaking, maybe not. I will not stand by and watch you badger a convalescent man like this.
My gavel shall protect you, Mr. Gustavia.
I realize he's still recuperating, but...
Mr. Gustavia, do not yield to this devilish prosecutor. Now then, please continue with your testimony.
Helped Sedova make his entry, but I made mine completely on my own. So you helped Mr. Dover with his desserts, but you made yours all by yourself. No matter how you look at it, this seems odd. Why didn't Dover assist you?
It matters not how it seems. It's the truth. I do not know what Sedova was thinking.
It's hard to prove if somebody is lying about something that happened 18 years ago. That's true. What happened to me 18 years ago? I was 5. I was 5 18 years ago. So I high-fived Superman and banged a supermodel. Prove me wrong. You can't. You weren't there 18 years ago. You didn't know me. I've only been YouTubing for like 6 years. That's a third of that time. Jesus Christ. I shouldn't put it that way. God, I'm 20... I'm nearly 24. Well, I say nearly. I just turned 23. So in another year, I'll be 24. And if I'm still doing this, that means for 7 years, I've been Let's Playing, which is over a fourth of my life. That's very odd. Although I did take a couple massive breaks. Probably call it a fourth total at that point. It's hard to prove some... Yeah, okay, I said that. Okay, does our secret weapon also work as a lie detector? If it did, I'd have already stolen Mr. Edgeworth's spotlight.
There's no need for that. I will expose this man's lies myself. Dane Gustavia, please continue with your testimony.
If the flavor of my entry wasn't good enough, my own lack of training was to blame.
Up until the finals... Up until the finals, I heard you received high praise for the flavor in your dessert. Was there some sort of accident during the finals?
Nothing of the sort. I simply was unable to taste my work due to my taste disorder. My intuition must have been off. That's all.
Then what was your intuition was fine when you were making Dover's entries? How could there be such a huge difference between the finals and the previous day?
We're not getting anywhere at this rate.
Can I change topics?
Don't change topic.
I don't think there's any reason to change the topics. All those unanswered questions 18 years ago. I should already have the keys I need to unravel them. I must recall the information that Mr. Shields and my father gathered. Let's start over now. Start over and yeah, okay. So the last statement, I helped... I think it was this one. Yeah, it was that one. So I should change the topic. Because that's the only way to proceed at this point.
Hold it!
Now-dee-dum-dum-dum. Sure, ask about the semifinals first. So you were sure there wasn't any difference between the semifinals and the finals?
Yes, sir. That's right. Aside from not cooperating with Sedova, the finals weren't much different from the semifinals.
Do I have evidence to contradict that? Not really. I had the semifinal stuff before, but I don't now. I guess I could press this. So you were still able to make your desserts without Mr. Dome's assistance?
I may have lacked design sense, but I was confident in the flavor. Apart from the design, there were no major differences between my final and semi-final entries.
Huh? That sure is strange. That's not how Uncle Ray remembers it. I'm pretty sure both the look and taste of your final dessert scored poorly. Then there's no way he would have won the contest.
Even the flavor, which he was so confident about, failed to materialize during finals. Something must have changed besides Mr. Dover's cooperation. But what? Alright, so it must be that statement, because they made it very clear this is the one that we have a problem with. Aside from cooperating, the
finals weren't much different from the semifinals. Okay, crime scene. Victim's body found inside the dessert. Ale. Isaac Dover, true identity. He entered the con as cake designer, but his body was found in the defendant's room. Probably not gonna help me. That's a sketch of today. Oh shit, yeah, right. I forgot. Came and visit up until the finals. Oh, his son wasn't there to confirm the taste.
Objection!
I get it.
There was another difference between the semi-finals and the finals. This photo depicts your son. We knew he came to visit you up until the semi-finals.
That is correct. What does that have to do with anything?
Your son, who always came to see you up until the semi-finals, was not present for the finals. And then, it was only in the finals that your flavor judged poorly. I don't believe this to be a mere coincidence. Your son's visits must have been very important to you, were they not?
A father can work miracles when his son is watching. With my son cheering me on, I was able to make the most delicious desserts.
Mr. Gustavius sure sounds like a good father, doesn't he? How would you know? Your father's dead, and so's mine. Goo, I should avoid that line of jokes. Because her father, and probably mother, are dead, and same with Edgeworth. They don't talk about mothers much in the game, do they? Phoenix parents are almost never brought up. Edgeworth's father is dead. Francesca's father's dead. Kay's father's dead. Maya's mother is dead. Pearl's mom is in jail, possibly dead. Her father ran out on her. Nothing's really ever said about Maya and Mia's father. But their mom is dead. Wasn't for a while, but is dead now. Mia's also dead. Trying to think of anyone else. Apollo's father is dead. Trucy's father is dead. Their mother is alive, but they don't know it, which I think is a dick move on their mom's part, but that's an argument for another time. Athena's mom is dead. We don't know anything about her dad, to my knowledge. A lot of dead parents in this game.
Mr. Gustavius sure sounds like... Oh, right. If what he's saying is the whole truth, one could say so. But just hearing his son's cheers wouldn't be enough to change the taste of his desserts. A confectioner, confident in his sense of taste, develops a taste disorder. It would have been difficult for him to maintain the taste of his desserts. Your son came to cheer you on. Was that really all he did?
You seem very doubtful, Sir Prosecutor. In that case, I'll turn this around and ask you. What else could my elementary school son have done besides cheer me on?
He made your desserts. He stole desserts from others. He tasted them.
I'm sure your elementary school son would remember the taste of your desserts.
Of course, my son always loved my desserts.
In that case, he would have been able to test your desserts in your place.
What did you say?
Earlier, you told us how you have a taste disorder.
I've never told this to anyone. Well done. As you say, I developed a taste disorder 18 years ago.
No one else knew about your taste disorder. If Mr. Dover had found out, he would have ended your partnership. After all, you were in charge of the flavor.
It's a lot of ellipses.
Your son didn't just cheer you on. He also helped determine if your desserts tasted correctly.
I see. Mr. Dover's desserts made the day before, so it still tasted good.
What you are saying is quite amusing, Sir Prosecutor. You say that my elementary school son assisted me as a taste tester. You are insulting my pride.
Your pride?
It's true, I had no sense of design 18 years ago. However, I wouldn't lose to anyone when it comes to flavor. You claim I would cast aside my pride and rely on my son. Don't get carried away with your foolish conjecture, you upstart.
In that case, I'm sure your son can confirm my theory. It's mere conjecture.
Unfortunately for you, I no longer have a son.
What?
After my taste disorder was cured, I went to train in Zhengfa immediately. During that time, I severed all ties with my son.
Why? What? Don't tell me you would even abandon your own son. That's not all. Even today, the whereabouts of his son are still unknown. The police have been searching, but they haven't been able to find any traces of him.
You wish to confirm your theory? I welcome you to try. Muhahaha! Desserts are the only things that are important to me. After regaining my sense of taste, my son no longer mattered.
It's a cruel thing to say.
Order in the court. Mr. Gustavia's actions are certainly inhumane. However, we are not here to judge whether or not he is a good father. Prosecutor Edgeworth, I believe this is your loss. After all,
there is no evidence left from 18 years ago that could prove your theories.
There's one that I can think of. A certain fingerprint.
Mr. Edgeworth, is there nothing we can do? At this rate, we'll never find out the truth.
Detective Gumshoe, where are those results?
I wonder whose blood it could have been. I've asked for forensics to look into it, sir.
Right, I'll leave you to it, Detective. I entrusted Detective Gumshoe with the last piece of evidence. Wouldn't it be the fingerprint? If only I knew who that blood belonged to. Miles, there's still one thing that's bothering Uncle Ray, is the fingerprint. Was Mr. Gustavia's only reason for coming to the art gallery to check on the body? If he only wanted to confirm the body's presence, he wouldn't have needed to open the case. That's right. Is there still a way we can prove this? There is one way. We just need that evidence from Detective Gumshoe.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, what are you talking about?
Mr. Edgeworth, sorry to keep you waiting, sir.
Just the person I was talking about. Detective Gumshoe, I trust you have the test results.
Of course, sir. I just got the report back from the lab.
Attaboy, Gumshoe. Dramatic entrance.
Detective, please be silent. So, this is the evidence that Prosecutor Edgeworth was talking about.
Huh? Hey, what's this? This is the first I've heard of it. This is also, like, you haven't had many lines in this case. This was a request from me. I asked him to investigate a certain piece of evidence. Why? Why is everyone always helping you out? Because I'm not a douche. I'm the one in charge of the crime scene. Mr. DeBest, I apologize for taking matters into my own hands, but how about we hear his report first? Sure. Detective Gumshoe, what were the results?
Here's the report, sir. The traces of blood found in the Gemini sculpture belong to a victim of the poison gas, Dame Gustavia. What are you saying?
Good work, Detective Gumshoe. As I thought, my theory was correct.
Mr. Edgeworth, what do you mean? We too would like an explanation. What on earth does this blood prove?
Well, it shouldn't cause him to bleed, the poison. This blood is something the culprit of the IS tried to conceal.
It can't be. That's...
This blood was found inside the glass case of the Gemini sculpture. In other words, your blood was found alongside Mr. Dover's body.
Oh, shut up, Courtney. Why would Mr. Gustavia's blood be in a place like that?
I wonder.
If you intend to remain silent, then I'll reveal the truth myself. In the Gemini case, aside from the blood, we also found traces of salt and sugar.
Salt and blood.
And only one of Mr. Dobert's sherbet desserts tasted salty. Come to think of it, I remember Mr. Licious saying the same thing 18 years ago.
Oh, you say his sherbet was most delicious, yes.
Really? I wish I could have eaten some too.
But there was one piece that was so salty I couldn't eat it.
Salty?
It's right here in this photo. He was part of that liar. That's where the liar from the Gemini constellation.
That's the lie from the Gemini constellation.
Exactly. For some reason, salt had been mixed into the lyre. No other traces of salt were found in the Dover's room.
In that case, please explain. Where did the salt detected from the lyre come from?
Take that!
This is the rock salt lamp used as the murder weapon in the IS-7 incident?
God damn it.
Frickin'...
Let's bring him in, shall we? Hey, Jazz, been a while. Haven't seen you since payday. I'm recording. Welcome to the episode. Thanks for making a cameo. Frickin' that'll be nice, won't it? God damn it, Jazz. I believe part of the rock salt lamp was mixed in with the sherbet from the lyre. At the time of the murder, there were 2 rock salt lamps in Mr. Master's room. Oh, YouTube, don't forget to subscribe. Well, go ahead and subscribe to Mr. Aaron Fox if you mind. I think actually if you go to my main page, he is listed there. He was also in my Saints Row Gat Out of Hell playthrough. He doesn't really make videos anymore. Well, he still streams, but I don't think he's uploaded them to YouTube. So he should get on that if he ends up seeing this. God, that guy, I swear. One of those lamps took Mr. Dover's life. We know that Mr. Dover's blood was left behind in the murderous lamp, however. There were no traces of anyone's blood found at the crime scene, Mr. Master's room. Because the killer disposed of all the desserts with traces of the blood in the stream of water, right? No, because the killer disposed of all the desserts with traces of blood into the streams of water, right? No other traces of salt were found in Mr. Dover's room. Ugh. Speaking of which, weren't the 2 rock salt lamps found... Speaking of which, weren't the 2 rock salt lamps found in Mr. Licious' room also broken? It looks like both lamps on the pillar are broken.
Both their light bulbs are broken.
Maybe they were dropped on the floor.
We never did figure out why those other rock salt lamps was broken. Maybe Mr. Gustavia's blood was on the other lamp.
If your blood was found on the lamps at the crime scene, you would have been suspected. As the culprit, you would have needed to conceal all traces of your blood from the police.
Don't tell me he concealed it in the sherbet lyre.
Exactly. The rock salt lamp and his blood were mixed into the sherbet lyre and hidden inside the glass case. Unlike the fountain's water, the sherbet desserts would not be analyzed right away. Perhaps he had planned to dispose of the sherbet when the opportunity presented itself?
Then, the reason Mr. Gustavia came to this gallery.
18 years ago, the body and the evidence pointing to the killer were both stolen. Even the killer could not have anticipated that. There was no way of knowing when the body and evidence would be discovered.
So he planned to destroy the evidence before the Zodiac Art Gallery's grand opening.
Dame Gustavia, isn't it about time you confessed? You are the true culprit of the I-7 incident.
Monsieur Gustavia, you're the reason Monsieur Master is.
Laughter.
Mr. Gustavia.
Could it be, after all this time, my crime is finally brought to light? The prosecutor and his defense attorneys 18 years ago never even came close. Bravo. Well done, Sir Prosecutor.
To admit you killed Mr. Dover?
It is true, I killed Isaac Dover.
Suck it, Courtney. Choke on it. I hope you die in your sleep.
But he had only himself to blame.
What do you mean?
Dover and I worked together in order to win the contest. No matter who won, we agreed we'd share the angel's recipe. But on the day of the finals, he stabbed me in the back.
Like, literally, or...
So Dover, this isn't what we agreed to.
I'm gonna stop doing the echoey thing. It's annoying. Oh, Dover's voice.
I'm sorry, Gustavio. The deal is off. Well, but I made your desserts for you. I'm the reason you got this far.
And what of it? Can you prove that you assisted me in any way? Meh.
Dover, you were planning to betray me all along.
That might be my favorite exchange between two characters.
Dover, what are you doing?
No, I'm definitely not stabbing you in the back. Meh.
Ha, that was fun.
Because of Dover's treachery, I was forced to make my final entry on my own. It's just as Sir Prosecutor said. My son assisted me every day until the finals.
What about your pride as a confectionery artist?
A proud chef loses the ability to taste his own creations. It's a feeling an upstart like you would never understand. Mastering the art of dessert, making it my reason for being, is my one and only pride.
Committing murder for the sake of pride, that's another feeling I will never understand. That's true. He never committed murder. He thought he did once, but he did not. To say nothing of abandoning your own son, such a thought disgusts me. Quite.
Before you judge me, first understand what happened 18 years ago. On the day of the finals, my son never came to assist me. Thinking back on it now, I suppose Dover had a hand in that as well.
Huh? What exactly happened to your son?
I do not know, but it no longer matters. Ever since that day, my son meant nothing to me. From what I hear, he is still missing.
It's a bit harsh. That's awful. Giving up on him like that? Without your son, you had no chance of winning, correct?
Yes, sir. And since I was guaranteed to lose, I needed a failsafe.
And that failsafe was murder?
During the afternoon tea time, I made my way to Sir Master's room. I just needed to take a photo of the cure to my taste disorder. It would have all worked out. If only Dover hadn't interfered.
Look at him, smug.
Ah, Gustavia. Trying to steal a picture of my prize, are you? That hardly seems sporting.
You!
Cure for taste disorder. Oh, you have a taste disorder, do you? Ah, this is rich. A pastry chef who can't taste. Ho, I laugh. Chuckle, chuckle, chuckle.
Dover, you!
Gah! Puny worm, you are in no position to oppose me.
Why, you... When I attempted to hit Dover, he struck me and sent me flying. I crashed into one of the rock salt lamps, and that was when my blood stained it.
So Mr. Dover wasn't the first one to be injured.
To conceal my blood, I shaved away part of the rock salt lamp and mixed it into the sherbet. After that, it became part of the lyre sculpture.
So, that's how you try to erase the traces of your crime scene.
Dover tried to blackmail me by using his knowledge of my taste disorder. If I didn't want it to become public, I was to pay him a large sum.
So, that's the reason you killed Isaac Dover.
Exactly! What reason do I have to let those who obstruct me live? He was the one who drew first blood. I simply gave him his just desserts.
I think that's Rambo.
No, I said it. I've never seen Rambo. Stop talking like that.
That's a Butchered Always Sunny reference for those of you keeping track at home.
So that was his motive.
I carried the rock salt lamp.
Yes, I know it's 30 minutes. I don't care. This case is almost over.
I carried the rock salt lamp that bore my blood into Dover's room. Then I came up with a hiding place where it would not be easily found.
I get it. That room contained plenty of tools for sculpting sherbet.
Your deduction is spot on, Sir Attorney. It was the ideal place to shave away the rock salt. I then proceeded to coat the surface in sherbet lyre with vast amounts of salty mixture.
Alright, so I had sort of hoped it would wrap up sooner this. We haven't even gotten to the whole statute of limitations he was in Zheng Fa thing. I'm gonna have to end it here, and as much as I would like to conclude this case today, I do have things to do, and my throat is really giving out on me. So I'm gonna have to call it here. Record another time. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Tokenlad. Talk to you later, shooting or share. See you around, Ass Clowns.